This is OFA Team Talk, an Oxfordshire FA production. This week on OFA Team Talk, our Senior Football Development Officer, James Shiplee, sits down with Oxfordshire's newest women's club, Wheatley Oaks, to talk to founders Emma and Rebecca about life in lockdown and how they successfully created a brand new club in the middle of a pandemic.
Welcome to another OFA Team Talk. I'm delighted to be joined by Emma O'Connor and Rebecca Raper from Oxfordshire's newest women's club, Wheatley Oaks. Welcome both. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, I'm good too, thank you.
So, Wheatley Oaks, just tell us a bit about that. What was the inspiration behind it?
So I'll start and then let Emma chime in if I forget anything. So Wheatley Oaks is a football club aimed at over 30s women. The thought behind it was we moved to Wheatley just before lockdown actually, and found that there weren't particularly many sports opportunities in the local area for older women. We both liked football and wanted to play football. So, and Emma's also a coach in football, so thought we'd set something up ourselves. We reached out to people in the area just to see if there would be much interest in it, and there was a massive interest actually. So we set it up. I don't know if you want to say more, Emma.
Yeah, it was just a bit overwhelming. I didn't think there'd personally be demand for women's football, but the response came back very impressive, or really high numbers. So yeah, we've been obviously delivering sessions since September. Obviously we're on a lockdown at the moment, but we will be going back. But yeah, there's real demand or need for women football in the local area.
You've both mentioned sort of a high level of demand. What sort of numbers have you been getting?
I think you did the survey, so I think it was about...
Do you want me to jump in here, Rebecca?
Yes.
Yeah, so we did a survey back in July, so mid-July. We did a Google survey, and we had 46 women express interest, and that was really that was distributed with the local parish of Wheatley, and then obviously physical posters we put around the local village. So we had it quite local, so we didn't go out into further Oxford. We kept it quite local, and then we did a bit of advertising. We a little bit expanded as well into Wheatley and Thames, so the areas just next door. But probably the sign-ups we've had about 93 that have signed up, expressed interest, and from that of our sessions we've had about 56 attend sessions. And obviously with COVID we have to obviously cap it at 28 for each session, because myself and Rebecca are at the sessions. So the demand has been so overwhelming that I didn't actually believe there was interest. And I work in sports development, so this is something where I've had previous experience at Wimbledon, setting up an over 30s team, where it took me 6 months to get 8 players. And I was just overwhelmed the absolute interest of women's football in the local area. But then I think about, is that the impact of lockdown has made people think, actually, I need to be more active, or I need to be more social with my local community?
I mean, the numbers are fantastic. And like you say, for a startup team, you usually hope you've got sort of enough for a five-a-side. So to have 56 women coming to, your first few sessions, I mean, that's fantastic numbers. How have you found dealing with the interested players during lockdown, those that have turned up to a session so far, or those that perhaps are waiting to take that first step?
So we initially did the advertising during the first lockdown, and then had our first session just after. Mm-hmm. So people were really engaged with it then. During this lockdown, in order to keep people engaged and because I think it became something where people relied on it to go each week. We wanted to set up some virtual sessions, so we've had weekly virtual socials just for people to pop in if they want to have a chat. We had a speaker actually this week who spoke about running techniques, because we've had a 5k challenge each week as well to try and keep people active.
Sounds great. Certainly going to keep them involved and keep them fit at the same time. What have you done, or what have you received in terms of feedback from the players? What are they looking for in terms of this? Is it just a social? Are some of them looking to potentially, play friendlies, fixtures, enter a league? What's the ambition?
I think generally people are really into playing football, so they might not have had the opportunity to have played it when they were younger. And the feedback we've had is that this has given them the opportunity to play football. Many people, it's the first time they've played, and they do want to play competitively. So unfortunately, second lockdown happened, but we were supposed to have a tournament with another club in the area, and that had lots of people interested in joining and getting involved in that.
Adding on from Rebecca's point is that there are many players that want to play competitive matches, which is great. Me and Rebecca have to facilitate it. And because we've got such demand, is that we've, in the last couple of weeks, been setting up a committee. So we've got players that are sitting on the committee that sort of direct where the football club's going. So it's not just me and Rebecca saying, we should be doing this, we should do that. Actually, we want more players to give us feedback, information, where we want to take this club, because it's not just our club. We're just sort of assisting, I like to say it. They're the guys that are actually the sessions, and clearly me and Rebecca have done something right because they keep coming back.
Always great to see them come back. That's fantastic, and great to see that you've got people wanting to step up as well to a committee to help take the club forward. That's usually the hard bit, to get people to volunteer. So well done on that one.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to others? Because this is something that, we want to see across the county. We want to see more women playing football, and there's, as you've said, there's a lot of older women who haven't had the chance to play when they were younger. So if anyone's listening and wanting to set up their own session, whether it's at a club or whether it's just a standalone like you guys have done, what would be the steps that they need to take, would you say?
I think understand who your audience is, like really understand why they might be motivated to be involved in the sport, and then make sure that you listen to them. So what you're providing is what they want, not what you think they should have. I think with the women in our team, lots of it is just being a comfortable place for them to play football, somewhere where they can socialise and play with people their age.
Yeah, because it really, we're in our 30s and we wouldn't enjoy playing with 17, 18-year-olds that are going to be potentially a lot fitter than us and have different motivations for playing for football. For us, it's the enjoyment and the health and social aspect of it. And as I say, about 40% of our players are local, so they actually live in the Wheatley village, which is great. So for us, we want to keep growing it. We want to have 100, 200 players for the club, which gives us problems, but good problems, where we've got obviously facilitate more sessions, because if there's more demand and people are asking for it, we have to facilitate it, obviously in a safe environment, and obviously with COVID. So we with COVID sessions, we're having to make sure people have to fill in a Google Doc, so book in advance, and then we cap it at 28. So obviously, if you miss that, then you go into the waiting list. But setting from the start, from September, these are what we have to do for COVID, because we need to ensure also people are safe in the session and that we are following COVID secure protocols and risk assessments and stuff like that. So yeah, for us, it's also having an honest conversation and being transparent with the players and members within the club as well.
I mean, it sounds like you've certainly got something that's going to continue to grow, and we certainly look forward to seeing where it can go in terms of progressing in the future. So one last question for you both. What's your most memorable football moment?
Do you want to go first, Emma?
Yeah, mine is Chelsea winning the Champions League in 2012, or Chelsea winning the first Premier League 2004-2005. So I cried.
Chelsea fan now?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. So those are my best. It's all, most of my football moments are either linked to Chelsea, either the men's or the women's team. But yeah, those are my my football memories are always related around Chelsea.
Mine's a bit of a weird one, maybe. It's actually playing football when I was younger at school. So I think I was 11 in year 6, and we played football with the teachers, and I was able to tackle one of the teachers. And I was really proud of the fact I could do that.
Always a good moment, that one.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for both for spending your time to give me give me that information today. And like I say, it sounds like you're well on your way to creating a great club for the area. So we look forward to seeing on where it goes.
Thank you very much, James. Thank you.
This has been an Oxfordshire FA production. If you'd enjoyed this team talk, like, comment and share, and check out our playlist for future episodes.